When you reach your 50s, life feels different. The world moves fast, and you begin to notice that mistakes which once felt small now carry a heavier weight. Decisions you ignored in your 30s suddenly matter. Habits you never questioned begin to show their cost. And the gap between a good choice and a bad one becomes wider than it used to be. This video is about understanding why errors become expensive after 50 and how a calmer, simpler way of thinking can protect you from damage that is often silent but real. At this age, the biggest danger is not that you are incapable. It is that one wrong step can undo many right ones. A small financial mistake, a rushed decision, a moment of overconfidence, an unnecessary purchase, a confusing investment. These things seem harmless at first, but the recovery window is shorter now. Time used to fix an error is time you no longer have in abundance. That is why avoiding mistakes becomes more important than chasing success. Success takes time. Avoiding mistakes saves time. Many people over 50 feel pressure to make up for lost years or missed opportunities. They feel they should have saved more or invested earlier or planned better. This pressure often leads to emotional decisions. And emotional decisions are almost always expensive. When fear rises, people move too quickly. When regret grows, they try to compensate by taking risks they cannot afford. When they feel behind, they choose things that promise fast results. But fast results usually come with hidden costs. You do not need more pressure at this age. You need clarity. Clarity helps you see that most losses do not come from lack of intelligence. They come from impatience. They come from not understanding a situation fully. They come from listening to noise. They come from wanting results faster than reality can deliver. If you slow down just a little, you will notice that life becomes easier, not harder. Calm thinking is much more powerful than fast thinking. The truth is that people rarely fail because they choose the wrong goal. They fail because they ignore small warning signs. A small debt that grows quietly. A habit of buying without thinking. A routine of delaying decisions. A belief that you still have a lot of time to correct things. These small errors accumulate. And when you reach 50, accumulation becomes the real enemy. Not one mistake, but many small ones layered together. One of the most damaging beliefs after 50 is the idea that you must make one big move to change everything. In reality, the safest path is the opposite. Make fewer moves. Make smaller moves. Make moves you understand. Make moves that do not depend on luck. A simple plan executed slowly is safer than a brilliant plan executed emotionally. You do not need complexity. Complexity creates confusion. Confusion creates mistakes. And mistakes create losses. Another common trap is thinking that being older means being wiser. Age gives experience, but it does not automatically give skill. Many people assume they understand money because they have earned it for years. But earning money and managing money are not the same thing. When this gap is not recognized, people trust their instincts too much, even when their instincts are shaped by old habits that no longer fit current reality. This overconfidence can be costly. The mind after 50 needs a different style of thinking. A style that is quieter, slower, and more deliberate. A style that respects risk instead of ignoring it. A style that avoids situations where a single decision can cause heavy damage. You do not need to be brilliant. You only need to avoid being careless. Carelessness is expensive at any age, but after 50, the cost becomes personal. It affects your peace, your sleep, your energy, your health, and your ability to enjoy the years ahead. If you look back at your life, you will notice something interesting. Most of your regrets did not come from the times you moved slowly. They came from the times you moved too fast. They came from saying yes too quickly. They came from acting on impulse. They came from moments when emotions were louder than logic. And when you think about the decisions you are proud of, you will see a pattern. Those decisions were calm. They were simple. They were chosen with patience. So how do you avoid expensive errors? Now the answer begins with awareness. Awareness that your time horizon is different. Awareness that your energy is different. Awareness that your goals are not the same as they were in your 20s or 30s. At this age, the safest path is often the most boring one. Boring choices protect you. Boring routines stabilize you. Boring habits keep you from chasing things that look exciting but break down quickly. Keeping things simple is not a weakness. It is a strategy. A simple financial plan. A simple spending routine. A simple morning habit. A simple way of thinking. Simplicity is not about doing less. It is about reducing situations where mistakes are easy to make. When life becomes complex, errors multiply. When life becomes simple, errors become rare. And when errors are rare, success becomes almost automatic. Another important idea is giving yourself permission to slow down. Many people over 50 still move at the speed of their younger selves. They push themselves hard. They think they must keep up with everyone. But this speed is not necessary. You do not need to compete. You do not need to impress. You do not need to race. At this age, moving slower helps you see clearly. And seeing clearly helps you avoid harm. Remember that peace is valuable. It allows you to make decisions from a place of strength, not fear. Peace lets you look at your finances without panic. Peace lets you choose long-term safety instead of short-term excitement. Peace gives you the emotional space to avoid the traps that become expensive when you rush. Protecting your peace is the same as protecting your money, your health, and your future. Avoiding errors after 50 is not about being perfect. It is about being mindful. It is about noticing patterns. It is about listening to your thoughts without reacting too fast. It is about catching yourself before you repeat old mistakes. You do not need to change who you are. You only need to guide yourself with a calmer voice. When you do that, life becomes lighter, and the cost of mistakes becomes smaller. You are not too late. You are not behind. You are not stuck. You are simply at a stage where wisdom grows when speed slows. Make decisions with clarity. Move with purpose. Choose the simple path. And treat your future with the respect it deserves. When you avoid expensive errors, you create space for a happier and more stable life.